to one degree, we're in a cup half empty cultural moment, both in the United States and globally. And so we're much more predisposed to see all the downsides. And I do wonder if it's more like if you have a glass of crystal clear water, and you add one drop of black dye, the entire glass becomes clouded, even though the preponderance of it remains clear water. And I wonder to what degree we're kind of overdoing it with the, as Emma talked about and as you've just reflected on, all the negative things that have been born out of social media, and then kind of forgotten that daily. I mean, one of the jokes that one could make about Twitter and X and Elon Musk is everybody's bitching about how bad that platform is on the platform.
Actually, of late, a lot of people on the platform seem to me to be quite excited about it, and are finding lots of great content on there. So much depends on what you actually look for. I mean, look, I think this whole conversation has to start with an understanding of why it is that so often the stories we hear, that we tell each other, are making us blue and upset. And I think there's two super powerful distortions that are causing that. One of them is reasonably well known, which is just the sort of the psychological tendency and propensity we have to latch on to the dramatic. If it bleeds, it leads. There's a reason why stories of destruction and violence and threat are what leads the news. It's because that's what sells. We're tapping into deep biological instincts that we have to pay instant attention to a danger. Oh my God, look out, look out, look out. And the good stuff can wait. So there is that. And I think that's one very real issue that Rupert Murdoch figured out early on how to exploit, and social media algorithms have discovered their inner Rupert Murdoch and are turning people who are very good at communicating the world in a threatening way, have made them social media stars. That's half of it. The other half is almost a more fundamental fact about the universe itself that you alluded to, Zachary, which is the fact that, in a sentence, good happens slowly, bad happens quickly. Most of the good things in the world happen because they are built over a long period of time. Someone dreams up an idea for the future. They think about it for a year. They then start talking to others about it. They persuade them. People get excited. They're able to raise money. Over many years, they build it. And suddenly you have this thing that's built. And then, boom, in 1 second, something can destroy something that's incredibly complex. So the relevance of that is this, that most news media are asking this question: what is the most dramatic thing that happened in the last few hours? The most dramatic things that happen are by nature almost always bad, because good doesn't happen dramatically and quickly. Good has to be slowly constructed. So you have this crazy paradox where so much of what we tell each other has just happened and is the news is nasty. And there's a big problem with this, which is that we are storytelling creatures. The stories we tell each other shape who we become, and to an extent become self-fulfilling. This terrifies me. We are in a situation where we are telling ourselves stories that are needlessly driving us all to a darker place. You know this. I mean, in a way, that's what this whole podcast stands for. But in general, people don't know this. And the tragedy is that just under the radar, there actually is a lot of really amazing and wonderful stuff happening that if we were to pay more attention to it, and if the people who were doing it understood better the playbook of how you make good things go viral, how you make generosity go viral, for example, we would hear those stories instead, and we would think about each other and about the human race and about our future very, very differently.
Hey, how's it going? I'm a YouTuber. I mean, you can see the camera. And so it's a series where I just, be nice and just give people some help. So if you want to take it, it's about $10,000. I'm not joking.
You're right.
Yeah. It's real. So, yeah. So, no, I have about 1 million subscribers, so I just wanted to do some good.
If I gave you the choice to either buy 30 Lamborghinis or help save the lives of 10,000 people in 1 year, which would you choose?
Wait, she gave people money. She gave it away.
She's giving people money. She's just like you,
Dude,
Jimmy.
this is how the new Mr. Beast is reborn.
So, Chris, I'm very interested to hear your take on someone like Mr. Beast, who might be the biggest example of someone that's figured out how to make philanthropic efforts or good actions go viral. And his videos are fun in a way that a lot of sort of good news content or generosity content is not fun. Like, you're like, ooh, I could be walking on the street one day and suddenly someone comes up and flies me to Paris and gives me $1,000, whatever. But he also gets a lot of pushback, right? I think particularly because the generous acts that he is putting up on his YouTube channel and on social, the benefit is redounding upon himself, right? And we're kind of hardwired to view that suspiciously. So yeah, really curious for your thoughts on him and any others like him. Actually, I'm not even aware of many others like him.
There are many like him. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Mr. Beast, and here's why. I mean, look, one of the key things to winning this battle of allowing good things to become infectious is to tap into human emotion. The reason that bad things go viral is not because they're bad. It's because they evoke strong emotions quickly. And it's emotions which fundamentally cause someone to say, wow, I want to share this, or I want to pay more attention to it. So he has figured out the playbook to make amazing things, connect with people, make them excited, move them in some cases. And that is an incredible skill. Now, to do that, he's tapped into, some sort of pretty basic human emotions. Here's a blind person who's recently been given their sight back. They are shedding a tear. How does that make you feel? That makes you feel inspired. So you share it. But to someone who's sophisticated, they look at that and they go, yeah, but they're exploiting that poor blind person, that they're using that tear to manipulate and attract views for a video. So I think what you have to do, it is absolutely true that there's a class of video that is exploitative, where someone dashes out, does something that's apparently good, and the person feels exploited and so forth. Most of the subjects in Mr. Beast's video, I do not believe feel that. I think they are excited at what happened. They're grateful, they're happy, and they're pleased. And I think Mr. Beast himself, having spent a while talking, for example, to the man who runs his philanthropy, Dara Margolius, he's convinced that he is for real. He is committed for his life to using the power of the internet to do good in the world. The money he makes, he is going to ultimately contribute back, etc. And I've spoken with people who've been inspired by Mr. Beast to do videos that also have sort of turned the tide on sort of certain ugly social media trends. I think he's persuading a whole generation of kids coming through that generosity can be cool. And I think there's a lot of people coming through who are sick of the meanness of the internet. And precisely the reason they love these videos is because they offer an alternative to a sort of cynical, gray, older world. Here is how you could use the internet the right way. So one of the issues I think we have to deal with more broadly is to let go of our perfection filter on generosity. Traditionally, you are right, Emma, that you look at someone, and if you can find some additional motivation other than the purity of their heart of giving something away just because they are being generous, then we can quickly get cynical. But every act of generosity ever in history has always had some additional motivation, even if it's only to salve a conscience, or, we do things always for a reason. I think in the era we're in, especially because generosity can have so many additional effects that actually accrue to the benefit of the person giving. They basically enhance reputation. Precisely because they can scale. We should actually embrace that, not be cynical about that. And that suddenly gives us freedom to welcome so many more acts as being contributive to the public good. And by the way, the mental state of doing that is itself an act of generosity. Instead of taking a cynical view of people's actions, give them the benefit of the doubt, And we all start to feel better about each other. So, that's my fundamental belief, is that we're in an era where it's in your own interest to be generous. It will boost your reputation. It will actually boost your long-term happiness. The fact that that is part of your motivation is 100% okay. And if we spread that knowledge, more people are going to do that. The world gets better. So that's where I stand.